Josh and Sean in the morning. Good morning to you. On the phone with us, Stokes Nielsen. He's from the Lost Trailers. Stokes, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Good, good. Obviously, everybody remembers the big hit Holler Back, but now you guys are kind of transitioning a little bit and have come out with this new song called The Underdog. Reading the bio,
Yeah,
I mean, there is just a huge, huge list of things that have kind of led you to this point, but in a real quick synopsis, what exactly brought you to Underdog?
Well, it's a great question. I'll just tell you, last year was a year of great transition for me and the Lost Trailers. And just to let you know, quick background, I started the Lost Trailers when I came to Nashville when I was about 20 years old and made a record called Story of the New Age Cowboy. And I'm not really one to put my name out in front of a lot of things, so I've always felt comfortable having kind of my own vehicle in country music, and
Sure.
and I'd had a trailer full of equipment stolen from me, and so
man.
I decided to call the album The Lost Trailers, and so that kind of started it out. And over the years, we've had more members in the Lost Trailers than Fleetwood Mac. I mean, it's really been like all over the place. But the one thing that's been the common thread through it is is kind of, you know, the Lost Trailers is my vision of country music, and I think it's taken us to some great places. I mean, last year we were on tour with Tim McGraw and Lady Antebellum, and then we went out with Jamie Johnson. It was a really big year, but also during that time, some of the members decided one of them wanted to do a solo record, and it just, things very quickly got to a place where I didn't, literally 1 second we were opening for like 40,000 people for Tim McGraw, and then the next, I didn't know if the Lost Trailers would even keep on existing in country music.
There was a time
and,
I'm sorry. There was a time when you, in the story that you had sent along with the song, there was a time that you went back to your old boss out of state and said, listen, I think I need a job. I mean, I don't think this is going to work for me. And now you're coming back with this Underdog.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what Underdog is all about. I realized last year what real struggle is and what really fighting for your dreams is in a very real way. Those aren't just words. That's a guy who has a kid, kids 4 and 2 years old who need to be taken care of, and a family and all that stuff. And up until last year, I think I'd had a pretty easy ride, and then it got, really bumpy. And I realized that, you know what? Most people in life don't have an easy ride, and it threw me into a place where I just really started writing about fighting for your dreams and fighting for a reason to live, and that's why I wrote Underdog, because I wanted to track the belief that I've always had that if you have a great family and you have work that you love and you have faith, then you have a lot on your side, irregardless of money issues.
Exactly.
Right.
And so that's really what Underdog is about. It's really about a guy and a girl taking on the world together, and which is basically what me and my wife did when we came to Nashville. And we're still part of the struggle. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we've had some top 20 hits, and Underdog is doing really well, but there's no, you get no sureties in this business. You just have to put out great music and put on a great live show and go out there and work your tail off.
Oh yeah.
And so I think what's happening with Underdog is the crappy year that I had in 2010. There's a lot of people out there who are having a really tough year, and they're hearing this guy talk about that in a very real way, and they're relating to it. But also, this is a song of hope, and it's also ultimately a love song that that I wrote about my wife, and so there's all those elements that are leading into it, and I'm really excited about it. We have some really big ads coming on today. QYK in Tampa and then MIL in Milwaukee are like really big stations. Birmingham, DXB.
Oh yeah.
And we may be getting some more ads on later today. But you know, we're at like 55 on the country charts right now and
Very
climbing,
cool.
and we're kind of doing it all ourselves too. It's just this small American company out of Nashville with people who just really believe.
I mean, basically, you know, you had went back and you had talked to your boss and you said, listen, I kind of need this job back. And he, you know, he's used to now. He's heard the song Holler Back. It's on his iPod. You were at the ACMs, the CMAs. You opened for McGraw. And since that time, you were actually discovered by Willie Nelson. And he's the kind of the one that said, listen, no, I'll give you a job if you need it, but otherwise you need to follow your dreams.
Keep going.
Yeah, and I got to tell you guys, Jim Higdon, he changed my life when he said that, because I was at a very bad place in my life where if he hadn't come in and kind of set me straight, then I would have made a life career decision that I can honestly tell you guys I would have regretted for the rest of my life. But
wow.
but I would have made it for my family, you know.
Sure.
And that's the truth. I mean, when you become a father, you become your life becomes more than just about yourself. And I got very lucky that Jim stepped in and said that, because guys, we wouldn't be talking right now.
Sure.
And the other thing about it is you know, we just played at a show Randy Travis last night in San Antonio.
How
where
awesome
we started
was
playing
that?
Underdog. Yeah, we started playing Underdog, and everybody started singing because it's become pretty big in San Antonio. And I just had a real moment where I was like, gosh, I could have thrown all this away, you know, and I almost did. And so I feel just lucky to be here, to be honest with you.
What a surreal moment, too, to think that, you know, just a couple months ago or 6 months ago that you were ready to give up, and now you're opening for Randy Travis again back on the main circuit.
How awesome is that?
It's unbelievable, and I will tell you this, guys, and I'm not a holy roller, but I do want to tell you that on that drive back from Atlanta to Nashville, I pulled over the side of the road and I audibly said, God, please take over, because I really don't know what to do. And I can't explain what has happened since that day. But I know that life changed the second I did that, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, I'm not a holy roller. I'm a very open-minded guy, but I know this, that there's no doubt about it. The reason why Underdog is doing so well is because God has a hand in it.
Very cool. And, you know, since the song Underdog now, there's some involvement with your co-writing the song Different Kind of Love for Zach Brown. Garth Brooks and Lifetime use some of your stuff in their movie Unanswered Prayers. And, I mean, now you're basically doing some artist management stuff with some groups called Lighter Ray, Corbett Jackson, just a ton of people in there as well. So it's really just kind of come along for you, in letting the big guy upstairs kind of take control has worked out well for you.
Yeah, we just got Lighter Ray signed. They're a sister duo from Corpus Christi. And we've just got them signed up with Capitol Records. And all that stuff started falling into place after I came back from that trip to Atlanta and just kind of let go and let you know, kind of just let God lead me. And I'll tell you this, there's no better feeling than getting back on stage after you have given it all up and see the responses from the crowds to your music is you know, it's unbelievable. And so to have that going, to have Lighter Ray going, to have Corbett Jackson going, he's rocking in Georgia. I mean, this is a 20-year-old kid who has just gone from playing in front of like 15 people to like 700 people around Atlanta, and is getting his own great fan base. It's all inspiring to me.